done. I'm dug in. I don't need to cry. I will cry if any morning I wake up and look at my laptop on my desk and I see that Jerry Jones has caved in and given Dak 5 more years. I'm done, man. I might have to become a Green Bay Packers fan because I like Jordan Love. I like him a lot.
Oh, I'm so glad I sat on this clip for a little bit, because what you just heard prior to the opening of this video was Skip Bayless making the grand announcement that he would no longer be a Dallas Cowboys fan. He would take his fandom to Green Bay if the Cowboys were to re-sign one Rain Dakota Prescott. So first things first, Dak, please sign so we can completely get rid of this scourge in our community. But second thing second is Skip. We may not even get to see you or your reaction to Dak Prescott finally signing that contract extension, because my boy, you gonna be looking for another job. And don't say your YouTube channel is the next option, because we about to take a look at that. That's not an option at all, my man. That's not an option at all. Let's get right into the news, as I'm sure this is news that all Cowboys fans can agree is great news. Skip Bayless is leaving FS1's Undisputed this summer, according to sources. The article says the Skip Bayless era at Fox Sports will come to an end later this summer. The longtime co-host of FS1's Undisputed and Fox Sports have agreed to part ways. Sources briefed on the decision confirmed Monday. The New York Post Ryan Glassspiegel first reported the news. Bayless arrived with much fanfare at Fox Sports in 2016 following 12 years at ESPN and a prominent role on First Take alongside Stephen A. Smith. While ESPN wanted to retain him, Fox Sports made a significantly large offer, and the host headed west in search of a new bloviating fame. Oh yes, Fox Sports executives promised to build a debate show around Bayless's persona, and that they did. The show found an audience with Bayless and partner Shannon Sharpe, and certainly did well on social platforms, but failed to duplicate linear success after Sharpe left for ESPN in 2023. As for viewership struggles, Sports Media Watch editor John Lewis reported that the show drew just 50,000 viewers for a late February episode and was outdrawn by a first-round Dubai Open tennis match between Daniil Medvedev and Alexander Shevchenko, which averaged 54,000 on the Tennis Channel. Fox Sports declined to comment. Oh, this entire article was music to my ears. First things first, Cowboys fans, sports fans alike, all of you give yourselves a good pat on the back, because this wouldn't be possible without the combined and united efforts of sports fans tired of the BS, tired of the bovine defecation, tired of the bullshit, right? Skip Bayless made a career off of extremist views, essentially, meaning he would choose a side and he would die on that hill whether he was right or not, and he would do any and everything he can to twist and turn narratives to fit his desires. Well, it seems like that age of sports media is slowly crumbling right before our eyes, because not only is Skip Bayless no longer going to be on our airwaves, but we are actually seeing people like Stephen A. Smith and some of these other talking heads losing some of their steam as well. People are starting to kind of buck at the way that they're handling their platform, specifically the people like Stephen A. and Skip and others that have made themselves a bigger story than the sports that they're actually covering. See, that's the issue here. When you have sports analysts and you have these talking heads that you can visually see are starting to enjoy the smell of the sweaty part of their undercarriage a little bit too much, it turns fans off. And what we have seen over the last few years are these guys starting to feel themselves too much. Are these guys making themselves the story instead of the sports that they're actually covering and the sports that made them famous? We've seen these guys start to step out of line to the point to where their takes are no longer interesting and engaging. They're downright distasteful and disrespectful. So you see, I'm glad that while Karma took her time karma finally came around the corner because Skip Bayless is no longer going to have this national platform to spew his ignorance on. And not only that, but he doesn't even really have a YouTube platform to spew his ignorance on. And we take a look at his channel. Ladies and gentlemen, Skip Bayless is extremely down bad right now. He's struggling to get 1,000 views on certain videos on his channel, ladies and gentlemen. He's completely lost all influence. Keep in mind, this isn't an independent creator. This isn't someone like myself that made their independent brand and is trying to build it up. This is a person that's been on television for 20, 30 years now and has built quite a huge following, yet it seems like he's lost all the support of that following. I know exactly why. Because Skip Bayless made the dire mistake of biting the hand that feeds you. Skip made his career off of being a glorified Cowboys homer. He made his career off of being a glorified LeBron James hater. Well, LeBron James is about to retire soon, so there's really not much to critique him about. And Skip has recently been kind of a critic of the Dallas Cowboys to the point to where you can't even really tell where his allegiances or his fandom lies. And what that does is it pushes away your core audience. Skip Bayless, you've turned off your core audience. You've turned off the people that wanted to support you the most, which were Dallas Cowboys fans. You made the mistake of believing that you yourself as an entity was bigger than the sports, the athletes, and the fans that you covered these sports for. And if you've never heard this before, the pride comes before the fall. You disrespected Shannon Sharpe, and that was the beginning of the end for you, because Shannon Sharpe was like a pillow. He was a fail-safe device for you, to where the people who grew tired of watching you and your ridiculous takes at least found entertainment in Shannon Sharpe. Well, that's gone, and you were completely left exposed. And what we all saw was you had no actual value to offer to the sports community anymore. You don't. You rarely know what you're actually talking about. You're rarely ever right. You flip-flop on your takes, so you're not consistent. You're unfair and unbalanced in your takes, which kills credibility. And you're not very likable. So what reason did people have to watch you anymore, old Skippy boy? They didn't have any reason to watch you. And I'm glad that you made that grand proclamation about not being a Cowboys fan anymore, just days before the news broke that you wouldn't even be a TV personality for FS1 anymore. Bye-bye from our TV screens, and bye-bye from Cowboys Nation. Now, I want Dak Prescott to sign that extension more than ever. Because, ladies and gentlemen, our efforts are working. Our influence is taking effect. Like I said, this happened because of us. This happened because we stopped watching that BS. This happened because we stopped engaging with that BS. This happened because fans all together decided we no longer saw value in this platform and we would not give it any more attention. Now, as Cowboys fans, we need to do the same thing to these other platforms. The Colin Cowherds, any segment that Dan Orlovsky or ESPN is running. We need to do the same thing to these other platforms and force a change. Force the media to go back to covering sports the way we actually enjoyed it, without all the politics, without all the narratives, without all the agendas. Go back to creating narratives and stories around what's going on within the games. You don't have to degrade these guys, you don't have to disrespect these guys, and you don't need to be convincing people that these guys are something other than what they are, which is what a lot of you have made a career off of doing. And it's high time that's come to an end. Either way, bye-bye Skip Bayless, see you never. We still same old Cowboys. Woo!
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.